DJ Metal Craig of Craig's Mills from here. I have one of the members of Tomb of Disgust with me today. Hey, how's it going? And we'd like to introduce yourself and what position you do in the band.
Hey guys, my name's Josh and I sing and scream for Tombs of Disgust.
Right on, man. Would you mind going back in the history of Tomb of Disgust and how you guys all got started?
No problem. So Tombs of Disgust was started back in 2020 during our highlight of COVID days. I started Tombs of Disgust with my old friend Richard, and we just wanted to make some music and get brutal with it.
That's all
Uh,
you have for your answer?
yeah, that was all it was. It was just me and Richard back in the day, and we just really wanted to make some heavy, heavy music. So we created the first demo and stuff, and then kind of just went from there. Everything we've achieved so far is just from everything we've gone through.
Okay. This next one is a bit of a challenging one, but you might be able to answer it. Who came up with the Tomb of Disgust band logo?
So when me and Richard started out, we were trying to find out a guy that wanted to do our logo, and we had a bunch of guys come up and message us. And I think we found a guy from Indonesia. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he ended up doing a couple drafts for us, and we picked the best one, which is the one you see now. And we just posted it and got ready to go, get ready to go to work.
And I forgot to put one question in the list of questions. I'm sorry, Josh. How did
That's
you
okay.
come up with the band name Tombs of Disgust?
Uh, we thought of the idea kind of at the time of COVID when everybody was kind of inside here in Canada and around the world, thinking of an area that was so disgusting that we felt like we were in a tomb. So we decided on the name Tombs of Disgust.
What are the band's immediate music career goals?
So some of the goals that we have is to be able to play shows in the US soon, have our first official upcoming live debut, which we really haven't had yet, and to be able to hopefully one day be signed to a label and become a touring act around the world.
Who's all in the current lineup and what instruments do they play?
So the current lineup of the live Tombs of Disgust is me, Josh vocals, Kieran on guitar, uh, Angelo, who's also on guitar, Sahil, who's bass player, and Dustin, who's drums.
Please give some advice or tips for bands that are just starting out.
Get ready for a lot of trial and error. Sometimes it may not work out right away, but if you just keep sticking to it and just keep grinding, it will pay off, I can promise.
What are the band's foreseeable plans for the future?
So right now, or as of 2024, we only released two singles, which was The Looming Storm and Shadows of War. And we are going to be hopefully releasing the new EP within the next few months. And then we have already in the writing process of a full-length album to be unveiled to everyone soon.
Okay, do you have a release date for the Shadows of War album yet and where it can be pre-ordered or purchased?
We don't have a release date yet. We're hoping for early spring or just before summer, and you'll be able to pre-order it through our Bandcamp and pre-save on our Spotify.
Sorry, Josh, lost my place in the questions for a second.
All good.
With the album Shadows, oh yeah, that one I asked already. What were the concepts behind the singles Looming Storm and Shadows of War?
So the concepts behind the Looming Storm and Shadows of War. So I'll start with the Looming Storm first. So the Looming Storm is kind of like when you're having that really bad day and it just feels like everything's going wrong for you, and it feels like a storm's a brewing just in your head after having a really, crappy day. And basically, that's just kind of how the lyrics go along with it. You're angry, you're pissed off, you want to punch things, and so you just kind of let it out, and it feels like you're having a looming storm come upon you. And the lyrics for Shadow of War, it's kind of like an anagram or a mixed story. So Shadows of War goes along after you've had that really, really bad day and you're kind of still suffering and it feels like you're at war with yourself or battling with stuff within and you just kind of want to get out and fight things. And those
Just
are
wanted to
for
let you know before we did the interview, I actually jammed the two singles thanks to Visira Discuss Media. And I also want to thank Robbie for setting us up with the interview today. The new singles you have out are absolutely sick and awesome, buddy.
thank you. Thank you.
The next question is, what plans do you have for touring?
So we have some couple, well, we have some unannounced shows booked for our hometown here in like Oshawa, Ontario, and Toronto, as well as we're going to be playing in the US for the first time in the summertime of 2025. And I'm hoping within the fall of 2025, if not winter of 2026, we'll have a tour that's coming near some people soon.
Awesome, buddy. Just so you know, I hope you guys come to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada for a show at some point.
I can make sure we will.
What are the plans for the band if you have someone you would like to get endorsed by? Who would it be for gear?
Ooh, well, I'd like to say probably for guitars, maybe a rack cabinets. And for me, as a vocalist, I would like to get some Shure microphones if I could, or some Shure in-ears that I could get a good endorsement by. Currently use Shure in-ears right now for something separate, and I've always loved to use them, as well as my Shure microphone that I'm using right here. It's one of the best and one of my most favorite microphones ever to use.
Right on, man. Just so you know, I myself am a vocalist. I use a Shure 87 Beta condenser mic.
Nice. Good
That
mic.
thing's freaking insane. I'm going to tell you a
Absolutely.
little story while we got to the interview. I was doing a high ground chord shake with the mic this far away from me.
Yeah,
Like, have you ever heard of a ground chord band from Japan called Bathtub Shitter?
I believe so. Actually, I
I did a
believe I
shake
have.
like he did. I blew the PA speaker out.
Nice. Nice.
I
Nice.
mean, I can go loud with my vocals because when I trained myself, I trained without a mic.
Smart.
Yeah. This next one is a really good one. What advice would you have for a band to better promote themselves?
Well, now that we're living in a more digital age now, I'd always suggest always making content and always making good content, making yourself visible on social media as well as going to all your local shows and telling people about yourself and the new band that's upcoming and giving them demos, stickers, whatever you can, or even links to your Spotify or social media accounts always helps.
Who are the band's musical influences?
So for me personally, I don't have a specific, but any good death metal, any good slam band gets me going good. The influence is mainly for tunes. I'd say a lot of devourment influences, a lot of slamming brutal death, a lot of brutal death metal, this and that. A lot of like the cricket vocals, a lot of ease, breeze, anything you can.
Cool, man. You know a band you might be into that you might dig? Brodekin.
I'm gonna check them out.
They're actually sick. The guy who started out as the original drummer was using trash cans to play on.
Nice. Hell
So
yeah.
it gave a really sick, twisted sound to the band itself, man. Like for
I
me,
like
some of
it.
my influences are DSI, Malignancy, Incantation. And speaking of Incantation, this Tuesday, if I'm lucky and he's available, me, John, and one of the other members for Incantation are going to be talking about the upcoming North American tour via video interview.
Nice. That'll be
Yeah.
nice.
Who designed this one's going to be a bit of a teaser for the audience if you can answer it, or if you want to answer it more like it. Who designed the Shadows of War album art?
So the album art, I can say a little bit, is a bit of a mixture of an old wartimey photo that was public domain, and then we put a little bit of a twist on it ourselves and edited a little bit so we could make sure it looks nice and good. I think you guys will like it. It kind of really defines where this EP is going to be.
Please give us some advice so we better get a musician into their craft.
Patience and lots of practice. I know when I started out, actually, here's a fun fact. I didn't start out being a vocalist. I started out being a drummer. And because I was frustrated sometimes that I would just start screaming or yelling, and I realized I could do vocals. So what I realize and what I give as best advice is be patient, you'll get it, but lots and lots and lots of practice. And whenever you can, whether it's guitar, bass, drums, vocals, make sure you have time for your hobby and your craft because you will get better with practice.
This next one is a really good one for you, buddy. How does it feel being with Vizira Disgust Media?
They're great. I remember seeing one of their ads in the summer of 2024, and they reached out to us to see if we wanted to work together. You know, Robbie's a really great guy, and same as Rich. They're great guys to work with, and they care about the community as well as the music. You know, they'll do everything they can to make sure you can get what you need and find shows that are good for you.
This next one's a real good one. Do you have a YouTube channel? If so, what media can be found on it?
We do. You can find us at Tombs of Disgust at YouTube. So if you go on the YouTube bar and you just type in Tombs of Disgust, most of our stuff should just pop up automatically.
What social media outlets can the band be reached on?
So we are on mostly everything. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. I don't know if we have a Twitter. I have to double check, but all the main ones we have, as well as Bandcamp and a few others. Apple Music is a main one too.
Cool, man. We got two more for the interview, and I'm gonna actually stop the recorder after the interview so we can get the station IDs for the radio station separately so they're not mixed in with the interview today.
No problem.
The second last question of the interview is, please give some vocal tips or advice for starting out vocalists.
Nice. So kind of the same thing about before what I was saying about the craft. Give yourself lots of time to practice and to even warm up. Warm up is a big one because if you don't warm up before even trying to do vocals, you're going to blow yourself out right away. And I can say that from experience. Uh, be patient. You know, it's going to sound really bad at the start because you're training yourself to do something it's not used to doing yet. So being patient and taking breaks when it feels like it hurts is key with that.
Before we get into the last question, anybody, I just want to give you a little sample of what I've done. I actually have never actually warmed up, but I haven't blown my voice out yet. The only time I blown my voice out was when I was doing a show and the PA levels weren't set right. Oh,
Nice.
DSI, buddy. You heard that just fine?
Yeah, I heard that perfect.
What new band news do you have on the Tomb of Disgust front? As in anything we might have missed in this interview?
Well, besides us having the EP coming out in the next couple months, we do have some other things I can't really discuss that'll be very good for what's upcoming for the band. I think everybody's going to like this. It ties in with a little bit of the full length that's maybe coming after, but I think there's some stuff that nobody's really going to miss on the Tombs page soon.
And we're good for the questions in the interview. If so, thank you very much for your time in the interview. And we will get the station IDs in just a sec, Josh.
Thank you.